Okay, I don't see Steve, but he bounced me twice, so if I get bounced again, just tell him because I saw him a second ago.
Well, he was on there a second ago.
Yep. Now he's not. Now I don't know what happened. But he bounced me twice. So I don't know what's going on.
What version of Zoom is it?
I don't know. Hang on. Hang on. Let's see if I can find out. Da, 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 da. No, that was not the right button to hit.
I'm hearing a conversation in the background.
Yeah, you're probably hearing the scanner. I forgot to turn it off.
Oh, okay.
What version of Zoom is this? 5.17.5 2543. Says I'm up to date.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Oh, it says I'm Steve. How does that happen? Okay.
Well,
I am not Steve.
I see this logo down there in the left-hand corner of the screen. It says you are Steve, but you don't look like Steve.
All right. I don't know what's going on. I think that's Steve trying to come in.
Well, in gallery view, I only see yourself and myself.
Do you have hide non-video participants?
I think so.
Okay. I still don't see his video, but he renamed himself to Steve now.
And you rename to meeting.
Yep, that's me. I'm meeting. Like I couldn't remember how to spell presenter. Okay, he says he can't unmute.
All good.
Oh, he figured it out. He got it. There he is.
There he is, right.
I hadn't gone, it's okay to record. You can't do anything until that point.
Oh, okay. Well, I really don't know what happened. I think you bounced me out twice, Mr. Steve.
I'm sorry.
And then weird things happened. And somehow or another I became Steve. And in the Zoom opening screen, here, let me show you. This is really, really cool. I've got two can you see that where it says
Yeah.
in progress on
Mhm.
Nuck?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Let me try this. Try this. I hear clicking. See, it says
That's interesting. I
On-
see a gray blob with diagonal light gray lines in it.
Mm-hmm.
gray blob. I don't know. So you don't see the Zoom licensed account in progress automation technology on Nuck and
No.
automation technology club start.
Oh, Nook is my machine.
Yeah. That's probably why I became Steve. I'm on your machine now, I guess.
That's okay.
What is that clicking? Oh, is that you typing?
No, I think
That
that's
might be
Art
me
chewing.
chewing my lunch.
Okay. Ah,
Curious how my screen just went to that much of a close-up.
well, okay. So I tried to update Zoom. Zoom said that it was the same version. From before, so I don't know. Weird things are happening. And I'm getting
Strange
this.
things are afoot at the 7-Eleven.
That's got to be you, Art, making all that clicking noise.
I have I've stopped eating now, so I shouldn't be clicking.
I don't hear it now, so. uh,
Okay.
so you got anything new, Mr. Art?
Not offhand. I wasn't here last week, so I'm just up to date.
Yeah.
I watched the YouTube of last week, but no, last week Barbara had a extremely important neurology appointment,
Uh-huh.
so I
More important than us. That's all right.
well, I'm trying to get to the point where we can safely travel back to Ohio. We're scheduled to come in mid-April, but
Okay. Yeah, we thought maybe you were traveling back.
no, I was not traveling. I was sitting in a doctor's room and exam room with my wife.
I think Vicente is in California right now.
He
Yeah.
probably went out to see his daughter. I think she's over at Stanford now, if I'm not badly mistaken.
What is this live stream of NASA?
There's a robot about to land on the moon.
Yeah. Is that what
Yep.
they're doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought that kind of applied.
Okay. There was some kind of an emergency yesterday with the 911 system,
Nice.
where it went down,
Thought that was this morning,
or maybe it was this morning.
nationwide. So AT&T had had nationwide cell problems, I think.
AT&T, one of my favorite service suppliers. Oh God.
Well, I don't know. Patty came in and she was like, I can't make phone calls. I'm like, no, you've got cell service. Everybody you're calling is on AT&T, so they're not getting it. Because I was like, we're on T-Mobile. We have cell service.
I'm on T-Mobile also.
But apparently the big three were all, well, the other two were watching to see what AT&T had discovered or figured out, because they were very curious about what happened to their network. And so far, I haven't heard anything about what actually happened to their network, other than it went down. I ended up with a new toy this
Okay.
week. Another Qshang cheap sub $20 radio.
Well,
This
wow.
this one is blue. This one has blue highlights. So there's actually 3 different models of this same exact radio,
So
And you're
what is it?
collecting them all.
and I have all 3.
So what is it? 2 meters and 70 centimeters?
Yeah, it's 2 meters, 440 for good transmit. This one, so these are the ones that are extremely hackable, that there's been new firmware released every couple of days, from, just hams, just us. And so that these are extremely hackable. The chip that is built into this, so the RF chip, can go from 18 megahertz clear up to 1.3 gigahertz. And a lot of the firmwares are taking advantage of that. Of course, you really can't transmit on those frequencies because the rest of the internals of the radio are set up for 440 and 2 meter. But it is interesting that with like a long wire or something, I mean, you could get an HF receiver in them, and they will do, with the right firmware, they'll do AM, and they will do what they call double sideband, which just sounds weird to me. I don't know why they do that, but you can get sideband off of them. This one here, I found it on AliExpress. This is a UVK5 99, which is pretty much the same radio as the UVK5, except that this one came preloaded with firmware that will go clear down into 27 megahertz. And I haven't tried the 1.3 gigahertz, but it says it will go clear up to the 1.3 gigahertz without needing to load any of the experimental firmware on it. So under $23. You won't be able to see it. I've got it set up so I could hear CB band right now, and 2 meter calling frequency, and both of them seem like they work fine. So these are neat radios for $20-ish bucks.
And they're
Everybody,
transceivers.
Oh
Dang.
yeah.
yep. Yeah,
How much activity is there on the CB bands anymore?
some, not much.
Are the truckers still there, or are they gone
Uh-huh.
some?
Yeah. Usually hear them when there's wrecks or something. But I think a lot of the truck drivers have switched over to GMRS. Bleep, bleep.
That's me. That's my glucose alarm.
Oh no. Are you all right?
I'm all right, but the thing, my CGM thinks I'm below 60, which I am,
Oh.
just barely 69. So I will grab myself a couple of glucose tablets.
Wait, they show 4 colors. You only have 3.
the K599, the blue version, comes in different colors. The original only comes in one color, as far as I know. And I paid $21 for this, so the price has went up by $4 and something. But all I could get it at the time was the blue one. Now they've got the red, but they don't have anything else. So what I will say about all three, the original is probably the one to buy. It's probably actually the better of the three radios. It seems like it's a whole lot more solid, more stable. But that may just be because of the experimental firmwares that are on it. This one, the switch, the volume switch seems to have a dead spot in it. And I didn't feel the dead spot that time. But I'm trying to work it out. I'm not sure if it got damaged in shipping or if it's just weird, but it seemed like it had a dead spot in the volume switch. And this one, the AM portion of it didn't work real well until I put a different firmware on it, and then it works great. So this one just sort of worked right from the start. But if you get the original, it really is set up for just 2 meter and 440. It will not go down into any of the other bands or anything until you
You're
put a
talking
different
about
firmware.
2 meter and 70 centimeter.
Yeah, 2 meter. Yeah. I don't know. I've always called it 440.
Oh, okay, fine. You go by frequency, okay.
It's weird. I go 2 meter and 440. So 2 meter is not the frequency. I'm weird like that, I guess.
So, have you worked anybody with them?
Not really. I've gotten into a couple of the local repeaters, but nobody wants to talk on the local repeaters. I bought this one originally because it had the airband in it, and I wanted to listen to the planes, and that's still what I use it mostly for.
So what's that 162?
118.
118. Okay.
118. 120, 118, 120, something like that. They've got NOAA frequencies built into them, which makes it nice. Because we just had that big storm roll through, so the weather alert part of it. But I I didn't really buy these to use them as ham radios. I bought it because I knew that it would go. It they're really decent scanners. They're you know this one with the oddball firmware on it scans really fast, and I was surprised how fast this one could scan. So this one makes a really a really good scanner. But yeah, I thought I would share my new toy. They all seem to work equally as well. Like I said, this one didn't really do AM real well. It didn't really do the airband real well until I put the different firmware on it.
So all three of those use the same chip?
And they're nearly identical radios. Cosmetically, here, wait, I might actually have a picture of all three of them next to each other.
But do they have a flashlight?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
That was a huge thing on the Bowfangs I got. I mean, every single ad, plus a flashlight.
Plus the flashlight.
Oh,
This one here, the one that says AnySec, that is the original UVK5. This was the UVK5 -8, and this is the UVK5 -99.
is that in the sequence in which they were released?
As far as I know, yes. This one was but if you look, really it's cosmetic. This one's got a smaller bezel around it, around the screen. Different plastic. This switch here, these two switches are a bit different, but and same with this. It's got a different bezel, and these two switches are a little different. This one, the original, is more like a rocker switch kind of deal. The two switches are connected, but maybe you can see that there's like a little break, and there's no break in between those two.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, they're pretty identical. Some people say that this one here has a slightly better speaker in it, so it sounds slightly better. I haven't noticed it. I can't tell the difference between the speakers. They all pretty much sound the same to me. But yeah, they're kind of playing games, getting you to buy different ones because it's all the same chip. It's pretty much the same case design. It's the same switch, the same antenna. It's pretty much all the same. They all charge off of the same charger. So I've got 3 chargers now. I've got 3 batteries. If one of these breaks. I've got an extra battery. So, but for $20 or right around $20, I mean, that's cheap. And if the flashing the firmware is pretty simple. So if you wanted to use this as with a better antenna, uh, as a HF scanner kind of deal, be easy enough to do.
So where do you get the alternative firmware?
So, GitHub,
Okay.
firmware is called UV mod. And like I said, there's a few different versions of this. So you click to open. This is the flashing tool. You don't even need to download anything. You tell it what you want. I want the battery. I want, you know, let's see. I could have the backlight stay on for a long time. I could change the menu settings. What else can I do? Oh, if I live where there's no NOAA I can set my own frequencies in here. So they would just become scanner frequencies. If I wanted to transmit AM, I could do that, which you're not supposed to do.
I was gonna say, why would you want
Anyway, this is just one of the versions. There's other versions of this mod. And once you plug in the radio, you just go. This button will become active, and you click it and give it permission, and it'll flash it for you. But there's this enhanced version that somebody else had worked on. Same deal. You get to select the features you want. There's a version, I forget what it's called, emo version, I think. Okay. But there's a dozen. There's one for Japan, so I guess somebody translated the Chinese and the English into Japanese. But I found most of the mods I found on eBay. So if you eBay on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and you type in UVK5, there'll be dozens and dozens and dozens of people showing how to do it, and it's simple. You just need a Bofang programming cable. Plug it in and select what you want for the mod.
Did you have to make a change to your UDEV rules for that to show up?
I did not. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Normally for things to interact with the browser on Linux, you need to.
I had to make sure that feature was enabled on the browser.
Because I use the same thing for my keyboard.
Yeah.
Or something similar. The VIA programmer is a in browser app mode thing, but I needed to set up UMod or UDev rules to allow it to talk to it. Huh, kind of surprised. Maybe it just shows up as a pure serial port.
That's all it is I mean, I've got permission. I gave myself permission to use the serial ports.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but that's all it shows up as is a serial port.
And it just programs with the USB-C cable, right?
No, it programs with one of the Bofang programming cables
Oh,
through the headphone and microphone jack.
does it come with that cable?
No, but those cables are
Yeah, I got a couple of them.
cheap. Yeah. If you've got a Bofang, you've probably got the cable.
I do.
I found a knockoff Bofang cable that looks perfectly fine, except that the cable itself is kind of thin, for $2 on AliExpress. And it works fine. It's just they use the cheapest possible USB cable they possibly could find.
Somebody was telling me, it might have been you, that at some point somebody had made a way to identify the actual Bofang cable as a Bofang and had written something to break them.
I don't think that was me.
Okay.
I know. Well, maybe there was, they were using a knockoff clone chip of one of the good serial USB to serial chips. And the original manufacturer of that chip shut them down
Yeah.
for a while. But I think that all got resolved.
You're talking about shut them down legally.
No.
Well, no,
wrote
they just
software to break the cable.
they just wrote in their driver to turn off the clone chips. They could figure out that it wasn't a real whatever it was, CP 102 or whatever. But I think all that got resolved. That was a Windows thing too. I never had that problem with Linux. So I mean, the biggest problem with I ever had was plugging a USB serial device in before I gave myself permission to do it. But it comes with a stealth earphone microphone combination that every one of these cheap radios comes with that nobody ever uses.
What is a stealth?
Oh, it's behind the ear thing that
Okay.
actually this one might be halfway decent. The one that I got for the Bofang looks like one of those things that they would use from the FBI with the coil cable going all the way down. So, and of course it comes with about the absolute thinnest handbook that you're ever going to find for a radio.
Translated directly from the Chinese, right?
Yes. Amazingly enough, it is all English, and it is actually readable. It's
Oh, really?
yeah.
That's kind of amazing myself.
I mean, there's a few oddball things in here, but it's 17 pages long.
Wow.
And I mean, if this was an actual book or a actual manual size, that probably would be 2 or 3 pages. um, there are some weird things in here that I guess the book does actually explain, or the manual does actually explain, but when you're looking through it, you go, what is a PON message? That displays full power. So it tells you if you have power, your battery level.
Okay.
And VOL, inside the menu, there's something called VOL, which any normal person would assume means volume, but that is the battery voltage level.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are definitely some weird quirks about this radio, but for the most part, I mean, if you understand CP, your tones, your CS tones, your DTS tones, and you understand the repeater offset, you could program this thing without even reading the manual for the most part. But it comes with a USB-C cable. You can charge the battery off of USB-C. And it comes with an actual desktop charger. So, like I said, I've got 3 of these desktop chargers now. And another USB-C cable. That does not look like it has data in it. Looks like it's just power. Yeah, I think this is just a power cable. But they all have the USB-C charging, which everybody seems to want now. But I would still prefer to just drop these into the desktop charger and be done with it.
That plugs directly into the bottom of the transceiver.
The desktop charger, yeah,
Yeah.
it just slides in there. So the battery has the 2 connectors on it.
So you can just leave that on your desktop and
Drop this in.
lives.
These things, especially in receive only, if as long as you're not transmitting, these things last forever. So if you're just sitting there scanning or whatever, I haven't charged the original up for probably 2 months, and I've still got 4 bars on the battery thing. I did charge up the new one, but that was because it only had 2 bars on it when it got here. So I charged it. This one says 7.8 volts. It's showing 3 bars. So this will last forever.
Do you know what the output power is?
5 watts,
Okay.
but not really. All these, they're kind of depends on what's around you and whatever. You're going to get you'll have to look at some of the YouTube videos about these. They for the most part they're pretty close to what they claim, but a couple of people have discovered that especially on 2-meter, there's some spurious emissions that probably are pretty close to not being good.
Pretty close to not being good. Are you becoming a politician there? I mean, pretty close to not being good.
Depends on how you interpret what the spurious emission thing. One will say that that's not good, and one will say, oh, it's pretty close.
So what would the FCC say, I guess?
Well, seeing as how these all supposedly have FCC and CE type acceptance, I don't know how they would have passed them if they were just shooting spurious emissions everywhere. I mean, it has an actual FCC ID. Let's see what this FCC ID says. Oops. Um, Actually, you know what? This may not be an FCC ID. Uh-oh.
Key that thing, the FCC is going to come in your front door.
Well, at least there it is. That's the one. Now, why it did. Warning. I don't care.
Internal photos. That could be neat.
Internal. Here. I will put a link to this
Okay.
test setup photos. I would think that if it was just having spurious emissions everywhere, it wouldn't get too far. But it does look like that it does actually have an FCC ID number, so. It looks like it's in the FCC database. And, oh, this one's got a different. Oh, no, it's it's exactly the same FCC ID number. That should tell you a lot right there. It internally, it is exactly the same.
Yep.
And exactly the same. This one does say output power is less than 5 watts. So someone may have gotten after them because they're advertised as 5 watts. This one says 5 watts.
They don't say how many watts fewer than 5.
None of them actually. I mean, even expensive radios don't ever really get to the full 5 watts that they promise. This one says 5 watts. Somebody must have got after them for advertising 5 watts and it's not really 5 watts. But it's, I think the couple that I've seen who have tested this have said that it was like 4.2 watts and 4.5 watts.
That's
So,
not bad.
I mean, it's close enough.
For AliExpress, I expect 2.1.
Now,
I will give, I have purchased a few things off AliExpress now, and I've gotten what I bought. I bought a pack of mouse switches, little 7.5 millimeter square micro switches. Completely forgot those were on their way. They showed up 3 days after I put the wrong switch in one of my favorite mice.
Yes. My biggest problem is I still convert stuff from imperial to metric wrong. So I'll think I'm buying one size and it'll show up and it'll be teeny tiny. And I go, oh yeah, that's why it was only 5 cents.
It's a scale model.
Now, AliExpress has gotten pretty good about shipping quickly from China. During the Chinese holiday, this thing still showed up within 14 days. So, and
Good.
the tracking showed the progress pretty much the entire way up until it got to the port.
Yeah, that's a thing that I find weird. I get 32 notifications that it's gone through their different levels of customs. And then they say it's been delivered to the end delivery agent or something like that.
And you
And
go, where's it
what's
at?
that
Where's
mean?
it at?
It's the middle of the Pacific someplace.
The M5 stack, when they generate a shipping label, it also generates a label here in the States. So I get one from M5 stack and I get another one from that says it's already here, like it's already been in customs, and it sits there and not moves for a couple of weeks. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, that's not really, they didn't really ship it from a warehouse here in the States. It's coming from China. It's just got to catch up with whatever. But, so, you got anything new, Mr. Steve?
Oh, I do. For the next Linux meeting, I got hold of well, that doesn't work right. A MikroTik router very complex piece of hardware. Neat toy. I'm still trying to figure out how to set it up, but it does things that I haven't seen in a router that's under $1,000. And according to everything I've seen, it does everything it does well. And it looks good.
What's the
Right, we had-
brand? What's the brand, Steve?
Microtik or Microtik, Mikrotik,
Okay.
has a weird programming language though. It's not Linux. It is different. But if you get networking, it works okay.
I saw I don't remember where it was at. I can remember. It was cool. It was a programmable network switch that it had RGB LEDs in it, and somebody
Nice.
had programmed it to do Cylon.
Yeah.
I was like, that
It's the
seems
Larson scanner.
yeah, it seems ultimately useless for a network switch, but cool. And then I looked at the price of this thing, and it was an insane amount of money for a network switch. And I'm like, and you're going to program it to do Knight Rider style Larson scanning, huh? That's a good use of your company's money. I don't remember what that switch was.
This is what the Microtik, a dump of the configuration looks like. Just odd if you're used to Cisco or something. There's not much that it has in common.
So
But
/ is a comment.
no, there aren't the hash at the top. Those are the only comments in this whole thing. So / interface tells it that you're working with an interface. Wi-Fi is you're working with a Wi-Fi interface. And then set, and I have no idea what this construct is. The brackets find default name Wi-Fi 1. I don't know where Wi-Fi 1 is defined, but the thing has 8 Ethernet ports on it. They're all gigabit, and an SFP port that does 2.5 gig, and it does wireless AX, so Wi-Fi 6. So pretty impressive. And I've got it sitting on the floor underneath my normal router that's mounted up on the wall, 6 feet up on the second floor of the house. I walked around in the backyard comparing the output of the one that I've had here in the house for the last year and this new one. And the new one's a little bit hotter. It goes a little further, which kind of surprised me. But yeah, it's a thing. Still trying to figure out how to get it to do everything I need. These are all of the chains for my website and stuff, so I can host through it. It has a strong following in Reddit, and they've got classes on how to do the programming on it and stuff. So yeah, it's what I've been doing for the last couple of days.
Ooh.
So the price on this is about $1,000, you said?
Oh no, it's like 130.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I've never seen anything that will do as much as this will under 1,000.
Okay.
And I've got my CCNA, or did. I've programmed Cisco's and oh shoot, big company out of Atlanta, starts with an A. They make routers.
Big
Completely
company
escapes me.
out of Atlanta.
That makes routers.
Yeah, sorry. I don't remember. Sorry. I only worked for him for 2 years.
In Atlanta?
No, here. Got some great stories for stuff I did for them. I was a subcontractor for a company called Logicom USA, AdTran routers.
There you go.
So I was working for Logicom, which is out of New Jersey, installing AdTran routers for Cincinnati Bell. And if you compare an AdTran to a Cisco, there's like 3 words different. You can do a said statement to convert the two, one to the other. Um,
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm paying attention, but I'm looking for that router or that network switch. Is that if it was cool? I have gone way back in my history and I don't see it. It just disappeared.
my computer is telling me I'm trying to do too much.
Oh, really?
I'm surprised.
Steve, are you at home or in the office?
I'm at home. I haven't gone into the office now for a while. I turned in my 2 weeks at LCS. I'm going back to Siemens.
Going back to Siemens?
Yes, I am ecstatic over that.
Just wasn't the move you thought it was going to be.
No.
I thought you were not happy working with the big company. Big company.
Siemens did a lot of things very, very well.
Okay.
Documentation being one of them. LCS did a lot of things very, very wrong. Documentation being one of them.
Okay.
Just a thing.
So you're back on a short commute again.
Yeah. Oh, I found something I think you'll appreciate, Leroy. I
Okay.
ran into this a while ago. A almost zero hardware connection to an LED screen, HDMI to OLED.
What was that? 3 wires? 4 wires?
4, yeah.
Coming off of HDMI. Okay. Uh, okay.
So it doesn't actually display HDMI. It's got a refresh rate of about 1 screen per second.
Right.
And it works by changing the EDID codes. It basically reprograms EDID coming off of the video card.
Okay. Let me get this other computer back on the internet because I saw something that I think we all could enjoy. I gotta get this thing on the internet and share the. It is related to video and whatever. As soon as come on. I think I just heard thunder again. I saw a video. He took a 7-inch landscape monitor that was meant for the Raspberry Pi, and it has HDMI on it, and he turned it into a second monitor for his system.
Yeah. I've seen that, I think.
So I found, let's send this. I found this monitor. Switch back over to that computer for $40. It's not the same. It's not
Oh,
the same
touch
one that
screen.
he had, but it's almost the
It has
same one.
speakers.
It does. Oh, okay. I'm definitely buying this. Speakers are good. It's not the same one that the guy was using. His had a nice little case and stuff, but for
He's got
$40.
a printer.
And he had it set up so like notes and stuff he could pull down onto the smaller screen. So while he was doing his coding, he could be looking at his notes and doing
Yeah.
his coding on his big screen. I was like, that's kind of cool. I never would have thought about using a Raspberry Pi screen like that.
So 7 inches by 2 inches. That's a neat little display.
Yeah. Yep. That's going. And now that you've pointed out that it's got speakers, that's going right into my shopping cart right now. I'm ordering that sucker. I guess I got to order Patty some diamond art to do because she wants diamond art. And I promised her the next thing I ordered from Amazon, I would get her diamond art.
What's diamond art?
Uh, in my mind, it is a pain in the whatever. It's a whole bunch of colored. They're not diamonds. They're just sparkly little gem things. And it's kind of almost like paint by number. You get this yeah. It'd probably be easier to show you than it is to explain it. You get like these uh yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. This is what she wants. So this is the finished product, and it looks like that when it starts. So you got all these little teeny tiny.
So is this a sewing thing?
No, this is a hand. You get a little brush and a kit, and you get dozens and dozens and dozens of these things
Tiny little diamonds.
they call diamonds. And then you have to get glue, and it's a special glue, of course, because of course it is, because they want to make more money. And you put this glue over top of it, and then you put it in a frame, and then you hang it on the wall. But it looks like this. It's got these little teeny tiny. It's basically a piece of paper, and you could put it on like a light board so it's easier to see. But every one of these spaces, like there, the pink is all question mark. So these are all your diamonds are numbered or labeled or somehow. So you've got the question mark being pink is color 604. So you get a little baggie that has the number 604 on it, and you put 604 everywhere that there's a question mark. Seems like a pain in the butt to me, but she likes doing them. So
It's almost like crocheting or something.
I was thinking the rug kits that you could get in the late
yeah.
70s.
It's kind of like those rug kits. I think it's more like paint by numbers, but smaller and more of a pain in the butt. But I think she wants this bird. I think that's why why that's in the search history. Why that was one that came right up. And I mean, once they're done, they're pretty nice. But you see all this color change, like from this color purple or this color pink to a white. There's diamonds that are all those shades, and that, like I said, it just seems like a pain. It's just, I would not have the patience to do it. And there's a little kid.
Oh, that one's big.
No, it's not.
Not as big as it shows.
Huh. It's not. This is typical Chinese marketing. At least they do actually have this in inches. Most of them are in centimeters. So we set one day and we figured out what size they were. Amanda, the middle kid, she bought Patty a bunch of diamond arts, and she didn't realize she bought them from Temu, and that's the worst place to buy anything in the world from. They came out and they were about 1 inch by 1 inch, maybe. I'm like, she thought she was buying something that was, 8.5 by 11 at least. She got a bunch of diamond arts that were all teeny tiny. And she
So it's
goes,
just some kind of a handcraft decoration thing.
very much. They come with the diamonds you need. They come with that little tool tray and some glue. They don't come with enough glue. You gotta buy some glue. But the actual piece of paper that or the backing material, that's got sticky on it. So it's covered up by like a cellophane or something, and you pull the cellophane off and you work on it a little bit at a time, and you keep pulling the cellophane up and work more on it so that it keeps it sticky. And then you put more glue over top of it to actually hold it in place when you put it in the frame.
So these are all pre-images. This is not something where you decide on an image yourself and then.
No,
Okay.
but there's, I mean, if you Google diamond art, or you go on Amazon and type diamond art, there's thousands and thousands of different images that lighthouses. I mean, it really is like paint by numbers. It's just a different form of paint by numbers, or those latch hook rug things like Steve was saying.
Marla does paint by number on the iPad. I don't get it.
Does it paint by number on the iPad?
Paint by number on the iPad.
It's some game thing.
It's calming.
Well, I think the female of our race is more sensitive to colors than we are.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a better picture of what you actually get. These are all these are all the diamonds. Diamonds. There's the roll of whatever image that is. There's your picker. You put a color of diamonds in there, and you use the picker, and you pick, put, pick, put. I don't get it.
So that pink stick,
Yeah,
you load that up with the diamonds.
it only holds one at a time, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was some kind of a column.
Like a rapid gun thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make
Pink.
sense. That I would have fun doing that, maybe.
Ping, ping, ping,
Ping,
ping,
ping, ping,
ping.
ping, ping. No, it's
And it comes with high definition painting canvas.
Okay.
Give me a load the next diamond in. It's she enjoys doing them, so and they're not all that expensive, really. They're so cheap that I don't like ordering them from Amazon, because if I just have to order that, then I'm paying shipping for that. So I really want to order more stuff so that it makes sense that I'm actually paying shipping for a piece of paper. So I usually tell her that, you know, she'll find 2 or 3 of them that she wants, and I'll usually tell her we wait until I find something big that I want, and then we order her small stuff and my one big thing.
You'll like that link probably. That's not from Mythbusters. For a little while, Adam Savage and Jamie whatever had another
Oh.
show.
Yeah. That's cool. The paintball Mona Lisa.
That was 80 milliseconds to paint the Mona Lisa.
It's
And
not too bad.
That thing's about 6 feet high. Paintballs are 68 caliber, I think. So just under 3/4 of an inch.
Not bad. If we could do diamond art like that, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
See, leave it to guys to figure out better ways to do stuff that our wives enjoy. Yeah. I'll have to consult with her to figure out which one she wants, but I want that display now. I want that display now more than I wanted it before. Speakers
In
change
theory,
everything.
they've got 3 minutes to that touchdown.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. It's supposed to be at 6:24.
they are. Yeah, it looks like 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
So who's this?
This is, what's the name of the company? Intuitive Machines. It's the first privately owned company putting a thing on the moon.
This an American company or is this an Indian
Yes.
company? Yes, okay.
And it looks like the majority of their flight crew is about 30 people.
Those are ground-based flight crew, right?
Yes. Yeah, this isn't a manned mission. This is
Yeah.
a little robot.
Okay.
Well, big robot. It's 14 feet tall.
it got launched off of one of the Falcon 9s.
And they keep showing simulations, but darn few views of this is the moon coming up.
I don't want to see a simulation.
Curious that it has 6 legs when grams count. This is landing on the south pole of the moon. They're looking for water and ice. It's supposed to be landing in a crater that never gets sunlight at the bottom.
Yeah,
What the heck? So the time should be up. They're not showing a time anymore. They didn't have a live stream.
How do
I've
you
been
get a
gypped.
live stream on the backside of the moon?
It's not the backside. It's the South Pole, and
Oh, South Pole.
they could have had a stream up until it went under the crater edge, though I would have expected that they would have had something orbiting to
Hmm.
relay images.
Okay.
I'm kind of surprised we don't have a bunch of GPS satellites already in orbit around the moon.
are you listening to it or just watching
Oh,
it?
now I had it muted. There.
It sounded like they that it they're waiting for it to verify that it actually landed. But I'm kind of with you. Why didn't they have a camera somewhere or something to?
Is this in a deep crater?
and there have been like 4 missions in the last 6 months or so that have not ended well.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Hmm.
this one is able to land successfully.
Yeah. What didn't the was
The
it?
Russian one certainly didn't end well, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
No. Or the Japanese or the Indian.
I thought the Indian landed.
I don't think so. Maybe. I could easily be wrong.
Thought one of them landed, but it landed
Upside
sideways or
down.
upside down. Yeah. Uh,
I'm surprised the Falcon 9 has enough juice to get all the way to the moon.
It didn't.
it no, no. It was on top of the Falcon 9, and they released it. And it took 4 days to get to the moon,
Yeah. It
something
was
like
its
that.
own rocket. It was a rocket assisted rocket.
It needed the Falcon 9 to get it into to get it into space.
Well, the Falcon 9 has a pretty good track record at this point. I think they just passed 300, didn't they?
I don't know. I don't keep up with what they're doing too much.
By the way, Steve, I believe that is Yosemite behind you because I see Half Dumb on the right behind you, and yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So did it just disappear or go off the screen or what?
They're talking about it possibly not landing vertically right now.
Yeah, it sounds like it rolled.
I think that's roll in the aeronautic sense, not the
Yes.
fell down, go boom sense.
Hmm.
keep cutting the audio out. I want to hear what they're saying.
Anybody hear anything? Anybody?
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 Hello, Major Tom, are you out there?
I can appreciate the Monty Python reference.
They they've been having issues landing on the South Pole. South Pole seems like it's an elusive beast of a pole. Oh.
Or are there any additional, physical issues with landing on the South Pole? I mean,
I don't know. Earlier I thought I had saw something where they had said it had taken a picture of some weird craters or something.
hmm.
But
So it's not a matter of aliens sitting there with badminton rackets and
go away.
go.
Go away.
Yeah. We don't want any.
Faint signal from the high gain antenna. That's
So where's the link where you're watching it?
if you
I think that's the first thing I posted.
yeah.
No.
Or I'll post it again. There you go.
No. I found it.
Mission Control just told them that they're communicating with it.
They made it.
Sounds like it. Okay.
It sounded like They at least
Sounded-
anticipated some of these problems, though.
Very impressive. So SpaceX just gave it the heave ho above some altitude,
Yeah.
They
and
probably got it up to about
intuitive
100 miles or so.
an intuitive machine takes over from there, and it's not SpaceX that's guiding it to the moon.
No.
Right.
No, this is their own thing. They just needed SpaceX to get them into space.
They just needed a ride,
They,
basically.
yeah, and a little gentle push in that direction.
Not so
Mhm.
gentle.
Well,
About 1.5 million horsepower.
yeah, that's just a little push. It's all right. But yeah, it sounded like though that they had planned and anticipated some of these problems, probably based on some of the other problems that the other countries have been having getting something to land correctly. I wonder if, like you said, it had 6 or 8 landing pods or whatever. I wonder if that was one of the reasons why. So if it rolled or whatever wrong, it would still come out upright.
Yeah. I was curious about how tall it was. It didn't. So this thing is 2 refrigerators stacked one on top of the other. Not the way I'd make something that's going to land somewhere soft. I mean, I ain't
Yeah.
a rocket scientist, but that didn't make sense. Though from the perspective of like a balancing robot, tall makes it easier to do the control motions. Maybe something along that. Kind of surprised they didn't do something like what they did with the Mars lander with a robot above and the lander on cables beneath it.
Yeah. Yeah. The have you seen what Blue Origin has proposed to go back to the moon? The
No.
man thing. It's not nearly as massive as Starship, but it is bigger than Apollo. And the the lander, oh,
Hmm.
it's pretty out there. It's pretty big. So,
Cool.
um, maybe big is better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, now they're not proposing to go to the South Pole, though, are they?
I don't know where they're going to land at.
They need to land somewhere where there's water.
They want to
Water
make a
is,
base there. Yeah.
yeah, water is terribly important to people.
Yeah.
And very heavy. This is a thing I've thought about for a while. And if I were doing robots to send to the moon, I would start out by sending them with good size Fresnel lenses, enough to melt some of the aluminum that's in the soil, because there's a lot of soil there. And if you could melt a parabolic mirror, now you can throw away the little lens because you got a big lens and just keep focusing that to get more and more aluminum. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Thing
Yeah,
looks,
that's big.
it looks huge. But when you put it next to Starship, it's still pretty small. So,
Okay.
but I guess that's habitat and everything.
Yeah.
So
Curious about those hanging shield things up at the top.
I don't know. I don't know. The I watched I watched a little bit of a video on TV about it. I'm sure that video is probably on YouTube somewhere, but it it looks it looks like that is probably going to be a thing soon ish.
I
Oh,
hope I get to see that.
I do too.
yeah.
Kind of angry that I don't have my flying car yet.
Your Jetson car?
Yeah.
Back to the future, man. Back to the future. Hey, let's see, O'Reilly's Auto Parts sells a flux capacitor.
Of course.
Its specifications are 1.21 gigawatts. Its maximum speed is 88 miles an hour.
But it's not available for purchase.
It's no longer available for purchase. That's the sad part. My my middle kid texted me earlier today and said, go in there, go to O'Reilly's Auto Parts store and type in 121G. And I was like, okay. And that's what came up.
So who's this? Your grandkid?
No, the middle kid. The middle kid.
Oh, okay.
I'm not real sure why she was looking for a flux capacitor, but she said that she saw that on TikTok, that somebody on TikTok had told her. And I'm like,
Okay.
stay off of TikTok. But that's cool. But stay off of TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about what Blue Origin is doing. Blue Origin is a they're a very quiet company making a whole lot of progress towards very big things. Unlike SpaceX, which is a very loud company that blows stuff up a lot. But maybe that's just my take of it. Their Falcon
Well,
9, their Falcon 9s work really well, but
yeah, they've got that down to it's like a cab ride now, you know.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really remember what this was. I was flipping through these channels and I saw somebody was talking about, all the space, the various whatevers, and they were talking about Blue Origin, and I'm like, oh, wow, they're doing a lot more than I thought they were. So And they have a pretty good track record of getting stuff done too. So
Well, but we're not talking about hundreds of flights, though.
no. No, but their track record is pretty good. We're also not talking about a publicly traded company. Yeah. So
Leroy, you'll probably appreciate that Thingiverse link.
Thingiverse. Whoa, what?
Hmm?
Would you believe that I have only really watched the Stargate movie? Not
Really?
Yeah. I just could not get into Stardate SG1 or any of the other
Ah,
shows.
I had a very high appreciation for Amanda Tapping.
I it's always been one of those shows that I really want to watch. I really want to, but I've just never been able to sit and watch past maybe the first couple of episodes.
No, start in season 2. 2 through 5 is great. 6 through 11, something like that. Some of them were very good, but most of them were very tired. But yeah, 2 through 6 is very good.
Yeah. And then is it Atlantis where
Mhm.
they're on
But
the starship? Is that
no, Atlantis is an is one location. Um, oh shoot, what was the other one? Which toward the end of SG1, they had a starship.
okay? Stargate universe or whatever. See,
Yeah,
you would think with a background picture kind of like what I've got, I would be more of a fan. I understand the mythology and the lore of it. I just couldn't watch it. There was just something about it that I was just going, I can't watch this.
well, I never saw Stargate Universe.
Yeah.
Looks like that had 2 seasons, 2009 and 2010.
Yeah.
So yeah, that didn't have the same impact.
Well, I mean, if you're saying to start watching it from season 2, maybe that's what I need to do because I've always started from the beginning and just kind of went, okay. See,
And
Babylon 5 has the same. I like Babylon 5, but I've never watched more than 2 or 3 episodes of it.
I never got into Babylon 5 either. Apparently, there's an animated series called Stargate Infinity, 2002, 1 season.
Okay.
I'll probably never see any of those.
Seems like every time I think that I'm going to like something, I really don't. Like I really liked Stargate, the original Stargate movie, so you would have thought that I should have liked Stargate SG1, but I could not get into it. And like Star Trek DS9, could not get into it, even though almost everybody says that was one of the best Star Trek shows ever produced. I just couldn't
Really?
get into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked Next Generation
Yep.
and the original series. I DS9 was odd to me.
DS9, to me, that was the outlier to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even liked Enterprise for what it was. But yeah. So I don't know. I'm not in charge of what I know. I just know that I know it. So anybody got anything else?
So they've actually landed now. They survived the landing. They
At least the radio did.
Yeah, it sounds like they're still doing a little bit, but yes, I think they've now they're just talking about Apollo.
So this is just post game prattle at this point.
Looks like it.
Yep.
Okay.
Probably until they can confirm, or what they say, 15 minutes before it recycled its engine or radios or something.
So
But it sounded like they confirmed at least something. Everybody was happy, so they must have
yeah, they
confirmed
were
something.
all jumping up and down there. So now who's this company? Are they a dedicated company to this project, or are they like SpaceX that's just dedicated to building rockets that can get to the moon, or what are they anyway?
I just Googled it. It says Intuitive Machines is the most NASA awarded commercial lunar program. The company has 3 missions that will deliver NASA and commercial payloads into orbit and on the surface of the moon. Right now, the company's 4th lunar mission is contracted with commercial payloads. I don't know if that helps or not. I don't know if that answers the question or not. Here's a link to them.
So they are.
It says we are open access to the moon for the
But they're not
progress of
capable
humanity.
of building a booster that. So they have to use a Falcon X booster, Falcon 9 booster.
I mean, that statement, and here's a mission. What's the mission? Oh, no, that's just what we saw. That's just a link to that statement would lead me to believe that they are focusing on the moon more than building a rocket. They're focusing on, let's see, IM-1 landing update. Oh, this is probably still part of that video. Landing trajectory. Seems like everything on their website is related to moon. Yeah. That thing has a that is a wild looking. Yeah, 3D or it just rotates. Won't let you flip it over. This isn't the same company that lost the payload of Gene Roddenberry and some of the other Star Trek actors going to the moon, is it?
I don't think so.
I don't. Those guys are floating around in space. Oh, here's something. Here's something. It says products and services. Oh, they do have a reentry vehicle.
Really? Okay. Well, that's nice artwork, but do they really have one? Or
I
is
don't
that...
know. I don't know.
I mean,
If somebody pays them to build one, they'll build it.
There's the Nova C, which is what they kept talking about, was the Nova C's. Propulsion, software development, optical navigation. See, it just autonomous landing, surviving the night. It just sounds like their entire focus is the moon, except for this
Getting back from the moon.
coming back from the moon. I put a link to their website though.
yeah.
So. Satellite delivery.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of interesting. Yeah. I mean, I went up here and clicked on gallery. Just all looks like moon stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, this deal today should help their marketing plan, I would assume.
Yep.
Intuitive machines. Okay.
Investors.
They did send back some good images. There's one.
Oh, did we get some images? Oh, yeah. That's kind of neat. That was what, right after they undocked from the Falcon 9?
And their pusher rocket.
So this is like a 3-stage rocket, basically. The first one's Falcon 9, and then the second two, the 2 and 3 belong to.
Well, their third stage is what landed.
Okay.
But if you do the previous next in that link I sent, one of them shows their rocket
They're
after it's
pushing.
ejected.
Yeah. Neat.
Interesting.
It's interesting that they used a fisheye lens. Neat. Neat stuff.
And some of their PDFs on their site are filled with images from this launch. So these PDFs are 3 days old.
Okay.
Yeah, some of the people that are in the Flickr gallery photos
Mm-hmm.
that are working on the project look like some of the same people that we're seeing in Mission Control.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's a fairly small team, isn't it?
it looks like 5 or 10 people, maybe. Looks like a really small team of people. That apparently understand very well what they're doing. All right. It is just after 7. And I know Patty is got some food for me. So
Yep.
Well, that's good.
I
So what's for dinner there, Leroy?
well, I don't know for a fact, but probably lasagna. That seems to be what we get on Thursdays.
Oh, well, okay. You have a regular daily menu, do you?
No, but that seems to be what I get on Thursday.
Okay.
So
Enjoy.
we should be virtual next week.
Yep.
And then we're going to need to probably figure out what we're going to do. I've got March scheduled. February, March. Yeah. I got March scheduled, but I guess we need to figure out what we're doing for April or whatever.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
That sounds like a plan. I'll see you guys next week.
you
Okay,
very
take
much.
care. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.